Peace, peace. Abargani. Salam, Islam, Hetepu, Rahubat, Jinolako Ninani, Chief Noble Bandele Elamin, back again in the building. Today's video, we're going to be talking about an administrative remedy against lawsuits and judgment. Yeah, that part. Okay, so we're going to get into that. We're going to expound on a little bit more on that in a few minutes. But before we get into that, please check out our newest product, the African Center Journal, which has 200 pages of college rule blank lines with the fly culture cover. So you want to check that out, just for you to write down, jot down something, a lot of notes we take, jot down these notes just to have, because it's always good to have paper and pen. So check it out. And then you can also check out all the other books that we have under my name, under Bandele Elamin. Okay? So with that being said, let's move on. So please check out this website, the Moorish Washita Indigenous Services, under indigenouservices.webs.com. It's a one-stop shop for your indigenous needs. And a lot of what we're going to be discussing, you can find it on our website. If you go to links, it's got a lot of, information for you. Okay. So please check that out. But so now we got everything out the way. Let's get into this video, because I know y'all want to know what is going on. But before we do that, please like this video and subscribe to this channel so we can keep bringing more and more of this info to you, okay? Because this right here is going to be interesting, all right? I'm telling you. Look, administrative remedy against lawsuit and judgment, okay? We're talking about when you have a lawsuit that you might have already got judged on, right? Showing how you can do an investigation, which is kind of a complaint against that other entity. Okay, so if you got a lawsuit, whoever the plaintiff is, you can do an investigation and cause a complaint, and it might overturn or reset your case in a sense. Okay, and the only reason why it's do that is because it's using administrative remedy. Okay. So what we're going to do is get into that. We want to talk about doing a video, doing a consumer financial protection complaint. First thing. All right. So what we want to do here is we want to look at your consumer finance government, which is the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. This would be like one of your first things you can do to like combat against, like I said, like a lawsuit, or let's just say you got a company that is saying you allegedly owe money to, and you're trying to dispute that claim. Okay, you can open up a investigation, if you will, in the form of a complaint to this company. Okay, this is a federal company, okay, which deals with all kind of consumer financial problems. Okay, so we're talking about if you are being told that you owe money for, any kind of loans, any kind of money you owe or allegedly owe. It could be credit cards, it could be cars, it could be anything that you allegedly owe money for, or there's a discrepancy on some kind of money owed, or if there's some kind of business that is causing you harm, meaning, i.e., causing harm to your credit. A lot of people don't understand, your credit being injured is injurious to your person as well. So this covers a lot on this, okay? This covers a lot. So what we're going to do is, like, let's say if you want to complain about say you owe money on a loan. It could be a pay here loan. They got you on some high finance stuff. There might be some kind of discrepancy with what's going on, and you want to dispute it, okay? Because they're asking you about it, and if you don't answer them, for one, they're going to assume that credit or that debt is a liable debt to you. So if you don't answer it, you're going to assume be liable for it. If you complain, then that's a form of a dispute. So doing a complaint on this company will leave you some kind of paper trail, okay? So what you're going to do is you scroll down, it'll say submit a complaint about a financial product or service, okay? You even got talking about housing needs and stuff like that. But the one you want to go to is start a complaint. Boom. Now, we're going to go through a little bit of this because you'll be able to do it to your need. But I want to show you, like it's saying, submit a complaint. Each week we send more than 10,000 complaints about financial products and services. Okay? Most companies respond within 15 days. See how the complaint process works. See, one thing you can do is if there's some kind of discrepancy, some kind of fraud, let's say even with your housing, like say with mortgages and whatnot. If you got a mortgage and what we've been finding there is a lot of discrepancy with the bank on these contracts, right? So if you got a contract with the bank for your house or mortgage and you feel like there's something wrong, this would probably be like one of the first things you could do is to make a complaint against the bank or the financial institution or whatever it is. Okay, so let's see. Let's go into it. So it goes into it. What is CB? Share my complaint data. So you start a complaint. Okay. Submit one online. Take 10 minutes. It'll take 10 minutes for you to do it. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm going to go through here just so you can see kind of what is going on. So you want to start an account. Let's say I already have an account. You start an account. You see what I'm saying? And let's see. Should I try this? Let's see. Not a member. Let's try not a member. If you're not a member, you put your information in there, right? You sign up. Now, for purposes or whatnot, because it's public, I'm not gonna go all the way into that. But this site, I'm just showing you. You go in there and you make a complaint. You write up a complaint on whoever it is. You tell what you think the discrepancy is, so that they now have to confirm that. You understand? So that's why it's so important to use the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, because that'll be your first line of defense. Okay. The second one that people always forget about is the Federal Trade Commission. The Federal Trade Commission. Okay. A lot of times, if there is fraud being committed on their part, okay, and you're trying to call them out, you want to call the FTC. You want to call the FTC. You report fraud, all that there, okay? So, like, you got examples, like, when we talk about even getting a loan, if a loan is not right, if the loan wasn't loaned out in a proper manner, there's a lot to even just the loaning, because there's a lot of money that's not really there that's being used and said it's a loan, but it's really not there. And so, I mean, if you get an investigation, you could possibly reveal where certain things where they are. And then you can show that there may have been a fraud by how it was set up. So, I mean, like, you take action. It says, report fraud. It got even filed antitrust complaint. Okay. I mean, like, we know the FTC is where it's at, but you always want to when you're dealing with some kind of billing agency, you always want to hit them with those two agencies. Okay. And even like I say, even if you've had a judgment, I have seen times when you've got a judgment already and they're trying to collect now. Now, you know what happens when you got a judgment. Possibly they might try to go for garnishment or any of those things, right? But if you start doing an investigation and make a complaint and say, "Hey, I dispute these debts," even though, for example, if you've been in court and you got a judgment, were you there at the judgment? Did you go to court, or did they get a judgment because you never appeared in court? And if you didn't appear in court, were you even aware, of these, uh, you know, were you aware of the civil suit that was against you? And possibly a lot of times you were not. So a lot of times you could do what they call what's the 60B? They call it 60B in court, but I mean, like really, in an from the administrative side, you are hitting them from a corporate side. So you kind of bypassing the court in a sense. Once you start working on them again, once they start applying or complying, I should say, once they start complying to you, after you've made this complaint, they gotta uh, make a response to that. Okay, if they don't respond, that could be an issue. That plays bad on their part. If they do, and they may have revealing information in their report, showing that they don't have what they thought they had, or that they can't produce the documentation that you're asking for, which also could play in your part as well. But what it does is these two agencies are there for you to make complaints and create a paper trail in order to go to court or go back to court. You understand? This is why you do these things. So, you know, that's basically the gist of it. So please, check it out. Like the video, subscribe, please, and check out all the rest of the videos. And also check out the description and the links in the description box. All right. So until then, peace and love.